Hi. Hi. You are now tuned into the episode 18. I'm going in, got a brand new spleen. Okay, I'm going real mean. Rapping, whip, team. I'm not talking about nothing half the time whenever I do that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even know why y'all listen to me. Anyway, hi. How are you doing today? You are now tuned in to the greatest podcast, my podcast. Hello, my name is Vaughn Johnson Baptiste. I am about to graduate college student, and this is my audio diary named the Zoom Out Podcast. So I really hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Today's episode is today's episode is basically just like something that has kind of always been on my mind. I'll be honest with you. I constantly listen to music. Music is like one of my favorite topics of all time. Mainly because all I do every single day is listen to music. That's kind of why I started having all of my vinyls and all of that type of stuff. And I'm just trying to get more into the music scene because I just enjoy listening to music, experiencing music, and also being able to just kind of talk with music. And given the fact that like I've sadly not been able to, be super like able to listen to music like with my friends and talk about certain things with my friends, I feel like today is probably a great time to have this little conversation today. So today's episode is basically going to just be about how different genres can evoke emotions. And this topic really came to mind because I was trying to figure out what to talk about. And I was just listening to some songs. I listened to Poppin' Olive by Samara Sin, and it was a very like kind of calming song. Whole time they were talking about some Bonnie and Clyde type of stuff, like going out and like robbing banks and stuff like that. So it was a good little mesh, but like I don't know, it was just that song kind of got me into the mindset of obviously music. And then once I kind of started thinking about what I wanted to talk about, I started realizing that like it gave me a certain emotion while I was listening, because because of the way that the instrumentation was, and then also everything that was being said in the actual song itself, I had a certain emotion, and it was just like a very calming vibe while they were just talking about like robbing somebody. I don't know what it was, but that brought me to thinking about how like different genres can evoke an emotion in you while listening to whatever. Because I mean, if you already know the basic thing where it's like, oh, if I listen to sad music, I'm gonna be sad. If I listen to happy music, I'm gonna be happy. Rock music, really, really aggressive, this, that, and the third. So I feel like today is a good time to have that conversation. So I kind of want to open up with something that's like a little bit of a fact about myself, that to even jump off with this episode, mainly because it's something that I actually completely know about. So actually, no, I forgot. When I normally do the podcast, I normally come in and do a little how I'm feeling. So how am I feeling today? I just got off of my spring break, and honestly, I feel like the break was not long enough. Granted, I probably wouldn't have gotten you guys this episode. But this episode is currently being recorded on the Monday of this week, so it's all good. I'm hoping you guys are having a blessed, fantastic day. I know as a fact that I am. I've been kind of chilling for today. It's really just been me going to my one class and then just kind of sitting in this podcast room and trying to figure out what I was going to do for today. So I genuinely hope whoever is listening is having a great day. And, I hope you were able to do whatever you wanted to do today, or do whatever you wanted for this past weekend. And hopefully this week has been good for you. So back to the personal anecdote that I actually had for this episode. I remember back I'm trying to figure out when exactly I wrote this, because it was an assignment that I actually had, which was titled the prompt, I don't remember why. I don't know why I remember. So let me try to figure out real quick where or like when this actually was made. So it basically, it was November 18th, 2024. So this was last year, and it basically was just an assignment that I had from one of my classes where it was just like, obviously, I want you to write a paragraph about something that you don't remember why you don't know why you remember this. Is just like something that's been sticking with you for a long period of time. So a very big one that always keeps like playing in my mind all the time is a moment where I first heard the song "Keep Your Head Up" by Andy Grammer. Now this might have been like back in, I think, middle school, 8th grade or something like that. And I was with my big brother, doing errands for my mom. We went to many different, like, we went to, it was like a barbecue type of situation. So we went to get like tables and some chips, like a whole bunch of stuff for like a normal on the block, just like, honestly, of just like a block party basically. And we were getting like the stuff for the grill and all that type of stuff. So we were out at Acme doing what we were doing. And then as we were stepping out of the car, as we were stepping out of the store and, you know, loading everything into the car and getting ready to leave, my brother, like, as he's turning on the car so we can get out of there, he actually puts the song on right before we start pulling off. Now, to get more into obviously why I'm even bringing this up with the song "Keep Your Head Up" by Andy Grammer, it starts with, okay, so yeah, the reason why I even like started, like, I'm talking about like this song in particular, Andy Grammer, "Keep Your Head Up." As the song started playing during that moment, I hear this like very soothing and very uplifting instrumental. It's like a guitar or like something like that. Is a guitar and a piano that's playing in like a very happy way, and it makes my ears perk up immediately because it's just something that really made you feel happy for a second. Like there's like, regardless of what's going on, the moment that it started playing, it just immediately got like, it made me feel good immediately. So after we, like, it starts playing, all you hear is the whoa, yay, whoa, oh. Like it, and I don't know why in that in particular made me it immediately kind of gets you into the vibe of what's happening, because I don't know. All right, so I'm gonna get a little bit technical in my brain, but I don't know why, but the way that he was singing, like doing the little ad libs at the start of the song, kind of made it seem like he was about to have an introspective moment where he was thinking about his life and all that type of stuff. So given that, as you can tell, I'm very like into music. So obviously, like I think so closely into these things. But right after he gets out of that, he starts to sing, and it immediately like fills me with joy. Like in general, fills me with a bunch of happiness, even though like at the start of the song he's kind of talking about some like very different issues that he's having in his life, and like the things that he's able to, the things that he's struggling with at the current moment that are actually going to, like, if it was you listening to the song, or like if it was situations that you were dealing with, it made it seem like, oh, it was like a moment where like somebody's at their wit's end and they don't know what to do. And like he's talking about like from bills being needed to pay to just worrying about like if he's going to turn out fine based off his problems and everything that he's been having to deal with for however long. He immediately starts, like, he's basically just singing about like everything that's going on as if he's about to lose it all very, very soon, and like just about to lose his mind. But right as the song like gets around to the chorus, he begins to show that no matter what issue that he's going through, he has to keep his head up and stay strong to get through it. And for some reason that just like always stuck with me, and that's actually why that song is like one of my favorite songs to listen to. You put the song on immediately, it doesn't matter what emotion I'm in, I will most likely start like bobbing my head to it and just like slowly getting better, because it's a song that kind of turned into my comfort song after a while. That might like genuinely be like my all-time favorite song, Andy Grammer, and the song is called "Keep Your Head Up." So if you are listening to this podcast right now, I highly recommend you go listen to that song because it is so good. And then there's even another part where he's like, I'm gonna watch this life go by. I'm hiding in the skeptics. Skeptics mess with the confidence in my eyes. I see all the angles starts getting tangled. I start to compromise my life and my purpose. Is it all worth it? Am I gonna turn out fine? Oh, you turn out fine. Dun, 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 fine. No, you turn out fine. But you gotta keep it. Like, is it? I don't know. Is it, the vibe of the song is so good. So it made me immediately like feel good about what I'm listening to, and it makes me feel like there's another person that's listening to what I'm going through. So that's kind of where I wanted to start with this podcast, just so that like we kind of get an idea of where I was coming from when I came up with this topic. So there's that. So today we're going to be talking just about like the science behind the actual like music itself and the emotion that it brings out of you. Then we're going to kind of get into some genre exploration, just talking about like the different genres that there are. And then, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to have some moments just talking about, I'm actually going to have a moment where I'm just asking you guys. I'll most likely post something on social media, because I have, remember, if you guys are listening to this right now, I have a Instagram, the One Zoom Out Podcast on Instagram. Definitely go ahead and go on there and just send me some recommendations on anything. I'll probably most likely have people have questions out to you guys so that we can get some interaction going on. And then, we'll be talking about more things, but let's get into it. So to start out, we're obviously talking about the connection when it comes to music and why it like has that effect on you. So, musical characteristics such as tempo, key, either like major or minor keys, rhythm, and the dynamics are primary drivers of emotional response. For example, a fast tempo in a major key is commonly linked with feelings of joy and excitement, whereas a slow tempo in a minor key often elicits sadness or introspective. Like if you are listening to hip hop, or if you're listening to electrical music, EDM is what I meant, or you're listening to on the other side, you're listening to R&B, you're listening to just like chill vibes or something like that. Like you're just, it's the different duality of what music is just either very happy, very like outgoing and super exciting and vibrant, or it's very like gloomy, or just like very I don't know really how to describe it in like a more understanding way, but it's very like there's difference in the ways that these different genres are actually placed in order to make you feel an emotion and elicit these emotions. So yeah, there's that. And then I'm not like, this is all stuff that I researched. So another thing that I researched was neuroimaging studies have shown that listening to listening to emotionally engaging music activates brain regions associated with reward and emotion, such as the nucleus accumbens, the amygdala, in the prefrontal cortex. These areas are responsible for processing pleasure, arousal, and even the chills or frisons that may experience during a powerful musical moment. And that actually might be the reason as to why I had such an immediate emotion when listening to the Andy Grammer song, because I mean, like the moment that I heard, I have a moment in my life, like I have moments when I'm listening to music where it just immediately, like once I hear a certain melody or a certain instrument being used like in a really good way, or if I'm listening to a vocalist and they're singing their heart out, doing a whole bunch of runs and all that type of stuff, it immediately like it I have those chill moments. Like it's just like, oh my God, they did that so well, and it's just something that just immediately clicks in my mind, and it's such a powerful moment. So I mean, that is fully understandable to me in that regard. And then also, there's one other piece of information that I found. And there's this model that has to do with like the brain stem reflex, rhythmic entrainment, evaluative condition, and a whole bunch of other different things that this model comes up with. It's the Bjerkvin Bregvim model. And this model suggests that some responses are almost automatic, like a startle from a loud sound that you hear randomly, while others are on like a cultural or personal association, such as like memories linked to a particular song. So me remembering this song also definitely had that effect on me when it came to just like understanding, dealing with certain things in my life that were probably not the best in my childhood or something like that. And it just made me immediately, it made me super happy listening to the song, and it would be a song that I listen to whenever I'm having a bad day or whenever I'm having a bad moment. Even Bad Day, you had a bad day, you're taking one down, sing a sad song just to turn it around. Like that song too. I feel like that time, like maybe, what was it, 2009, maybe 2008. That's those conglomerate of songs, like it was all just like, hey, we're having a bad day, but it's okay. We're gonna be okay. And then you know how it's very interesting actually to think about music from like when I was a kid, just like understanding what's going on with that. So it's definitely, music is such a crazy thing to me, because it elicits so much emotion, where to me, that's why I love it so much, because I can never have like the one track mindset where it's, oh, you just like the song, like I don't know what it is. It's just, I don't think I would ever say I don't know what it is, because I know the different reasons as to why I like the song. It's something that brings out so much like emotion and like so much aggression in my attitude when it comes to music, because it has such an impact on me the moment I hear it. And I love it, which is why, I mean, you could kind of tell from like the little bits and pieces that I've been singing so far. So music is something that really drives me, and I love it. So now that we've gotten a little bit past that, let's get into some genre specific emotional impacts. So some that are obvious, or not obvious, but some that are just like something that you can think about at the current moment. We have songs like, no, actually not songs, genres such as classical music. We can start with that. It enhances focus and relaxation and deep thought. If you're listening to like Mozart while studying or something like that, because I know some people do listen to that type of music, just to like have that deep thought moment, or like have a time of relaxation. And they listen to classical music just to have those types of like very chill moments. And it's kind of the same when it comes to like electronic music and lo-fi. There's even like a whole lo-fi music thing that's been going on for like umpteen years, and just like for focusing and like listening to music and being able to relax and dissociate, maybe even if you have that. And yeah, there's a whole, I feel like those two genres, electronic, lo-fi and classical, kind of have like a little mesh when it comes to just being able to have that calming feeling and those calming moments within your day to day or something like that. So there's those three right there. Then there's jazz and blues, which can be both uplifting and also melancholic. Listening to jazz is you could definitely get like a little bit of a better mood listening to that, like Miles Davis, or even who I also classify as jazz, just like what's his name I think John Batiste probably would be in there too for jazz or something like that, in the blues maybe. So it can be either uplifting, or it can bring you to like a really emotional point in your life. So that's also possible too. Rock and metal, often associated with energy, anger, or empowerment. So like Linkin Park for the emotional catharsis whenever it comes to just like the emotions that come with like really heavy like aggression, when it like based off whatever the song is obviously about. So yeah, there's that. And then there's the pop music that's usually upbeat and triggering happiness and motivation, like Dua Lipa for the confidence boost, like Sabrina Carpenter. All like different people that are in that genre can elicit those types of emotions when it comes to their the music choices that they decide to make. Then there's hip hop and rap, storytelling and rhythm that can invoke motivation or nostalgia. And for me personally, I can say that like the J. Cole's of the world, the Kendrick Lamar's, my favorite artist JID for the introspection, like stuff like that is just that might be. I'm gonna be honest, that's the genre for me right there. And there's many different reasons for that, but yeah, that and I think maybe jazz and blues is definitely neck and neck when it comes to like hip hop and rap and stuff like that. It just like has that introspective moment, and then obviously you can have those moments where you're just like having fun, just chilling and stuff like that. So and just strive you to go get it, or strive you to go do something with your life or something like that. So yeah, there's those things right there. Now, real quick, I do want to just take a pause for a second and ask the audience, like, if you are currently listening to this podcast, number one, I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? I hope you are enjoying hearing my voice. But number two, I would like to say, just like, if you are listening, and I think I've said this multiple different times, but if you're listening to music and you really enjoy music, embrace that. Figure out the exact reasons as to why you like these different songs, what emotions they elicit, and understand just like what it is in those songs that is making you have that emotional response. Because there's also like music therapy exists, and being able to listen to music and have that be the thing that drives you out of like certain emotions, like making it so that you have, because these songs, to be honest with you, these songs definitely have the ability to latch onto you and be able to be the reason as to why you got out of a certain situation, a certain mindset. Because I mean, shoot, anytime I'm upset, I listen to Keep Your Head Up, or I listen to various different artists like Mac Ayres. I've listened to whenever it comes to listening to sad songs and just like understanding like the life, like how life bad is crazy. How life can kind of hit you at certain times, and it's something that is really interesting to me. And hey man, I just really hope that anybody who's listening to this right now can definitely go and just like figure out why you enjoy the music that you listen to. Figure out what in your life has been like the key moments where you listen to music in order to get out of a moment. It could be like a breakup that had you like down and out, but you listen to a certain song and that's become your favorite song because it got you out of that mindset and you just become happy. Or you even songs like from those Sundays where your mom is sitting there listening to music, all those old school music, all those old school R&B, old school jazz, old school whatever that your parents might have listened to, that brings you back to those moments, and you have those introspective moments where you're just listening to it and you remember something that always stuck with you for like umpteen years, and that's something that you are able to push through for the entirety of your life. And I feel like that's important, and it has a real world impact, because like music saves lives. You've heard so many different times artists listening to music and all that type of stuff, and then you hear them in an interview and they've said countless times how a bunch of their fans would say, "Oh my God, your music saved my life. Your music saved my life." 9 times out of 10, well, no, I wouldn't say 9 times out of 10, but I'd say like half the time they're like being a little bit over dramatic, and they're just like, "Oh my God, you saved my life." Da, da, da. But I feel like for the good amount of it, music can definitely save lives. Like depending on what you're talking about in your music, depending on the experiences that you're talking about in your music, it can genuinely help you and your audience click together. Because I mean, that's the whole point of listening, of making music, being able to express yourself in ways that are creative and also can latch onto somebody's, like when they're listening to it with their headphones, and they can just feel whatever emotion you're feeling, and like using those different keys and whatever type of piano that's being used, or guitar that's being used, violin that's being used, drum set that's being used, anything like that. It could definitely help a person to understand where you're coming from, and maybe even connect with you if they've had that exact type of experience. So I feel like those moments are definitely important and imperative when it comes to trying to listen to me, like trying to just enjoy music and being able to do that type of stuff. So yeah, I just really urge you you to go ahead and understand, you know, where you are in your life and how many times music has maybe saved you at a certain point, or maybe I'm talking too much and you've never had these experiences, in which case, hey man, you're appreciated regardless. Next, I just want to, you know what I'm saying? I want to just some playlist ideas, you know, make a playlist about, you know, something that you can listen to while you're vibing, just like chilling, just sitting down, listening to music and being able to kind of relax from the day. You know, some good artists that I can say would be some suggestions for that. I'd say Mac Miller could be thrown in there. Some of the more chill Kendrick Lamar songs. Mac Ayres, like I said, even though that's kind of sad, but like you can throw that in there. Masego is a good one. Just anything like jazz, throw that in there. So just you can just chill out to that 9 times out of 10. So yeah, you throw something in there like that for deep feels and like just having those moments where you're like really in your emotions and all that type of stuff. Throwing some R&B in there, Usher, Neo, throw in SZA, Summer Walker, any of these artists that have that type of vibe to their music. Go ahead and throw them in there, and just like throw in even some, like, if you're having like a moment where you're like really excited about something, or you're really gung ho about something, throw in some really hyper music that you listen to. Throw in some artists that can elicit those emotions out of you, and definitely go ahead and get to that point. And, you know, enjoy the music that you're having in those like little pockets. You know what I mean? Pockets as in like the playlist. Like being able to have a conglomerate amount of songs that you listen to that can elicit certain emotions is, I feel like, imperative in your life. That's just because, I mean, honestly, I listen to music 9 times out of 10 every single gosh darn day. So it's important if you guys decide to have that. And yeah, definitely just do that. You know what I mean? Just like enjoy music your way. And I think playlists are pretty good for that. And now I definitely encourage you guys, go out, create your own playlists. And even if you want to, just to, because maybe you could help me, like I haven't heard a plethora of artists, so you can definitely recommend some artists over at Instagram, the One Zoom Out podcast. Yeah, I'm just now getting I'm getting the Instagram kind of built up a little bit, so take your time on me, please. And then, you know, just to close out, you know what I'm saying, because I feel like this might be my favorite episode a little bit, just because I really love talking about music, and you can tell how much I like talking about music. So yeah, there's that. And then next, I just want to like kind of have a little moment where I throw it again to you guys, and I'm most likely gonna post this on post a question thing on my story, but I want to know, like, what song has had like an emotional impact on you? What song has genuinely made like your life maybe better? Like, what a song that you listen to constantly that just reminds you of where you are in your life, what you've done, what you've gotten to, and being able to, you know, just get better in wherever you are, and just like, you know what I'm saying? You guys understand what I'm getting at. So I invite you guys to definitely go ahead and listen and you know what I'm saying, throw in the comments or wherever you're listening to this, just like, what is it that in music, like in the songs that you're listening to, or the other one song, like I said, that has had such a big impact on you that you couldn't always remember that, oh my God, I listened to that song and it just made so much sense to me, and it like put things into perspective or something like that. Because I know music has the ability to do a numerous amount of things to your brain, and just a numerous amount of things to you. And I fully this is the entire reason as to why I love music. My favorite thing to talk about is music, and I am hoping to be able to expand my knowledge in music and being able to, you know, understand how big music is in this world. And hopefully at a certain point I am able to get a person on here that has a lot of experience with music and explains more about it, because I'm just a college student that has a very skewed way of listening. No, I wouldn't say skewed, but I have a particular way of listening to music. So I feel like if I'm able to get somebody on here that really is into that, I might bring Greg Potter back and say we can have a little conversation about that. But I have been talking to you guys for some time now, so I feel like it's only time that I thank you guys for deciding to tune in to another episode of the Zoom Out Podcast with Vaughn Johnson Baptiste. That is my name. I am a college student, so I'm just trying to get by. I'm at the end of my semester. I will have an episode about like the entire experience, and just like from a person who genuinely did not like the idea of not graduating, but like of coming to college and dealing with college things. I didn't really like that idea. And given the video that I'm currently still working on, or I don't know I think I'm just struggling on it a little bit, but once it comes out, I can't wait to share it with you guys and just talk about how my 4 years has been as a person that genuinely did not want to go the full 4 years. So with that being said, today we talked about just like different songs that really make just make you have certain emotions, and songs that really drive you in a certain way, shape, or form. And I hope that you guys took something from this episode. I invite you guys to even create send in some music, just send in some songs. I'm always game to listen to some new songs regardless of the genre. And I just hope that anybody decides to actually send some songs. I want to make a little community playlist or something like that. I want to expand my taste, and also be able to help some other people out too. So this has been the Zoom Out Podcast, episode 18. I really hope you guys have enjoyed. I will be back next week to talk about some movies. I always have these different topics every single week. So, I would probably talk about some movies. You know what I'm saying? I could talk about because I'm planning on finishing the books that I've been reading. So I'm gonna throw in some topics about that. Yeah. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode, man. You guys have a fantastic rest of your day. If you haven't already, please leave a 5-star rating on this podcast episode. Also, go ahead and follow me on Instagram, the One Zoom Out Podcast. Also me, Alexon Vibes, 215 Alexon. And then also, what I'm saying, just connect with your boy. I really hope anyone who's listening decides to, follow me on this journey and getting better at podcasting and stuff like that, because I'm very new to this, so please spare me. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Go drink something, go eat something. It's 2:00 on a Thursday. I hope you guys decide to listen to this next week at the same exact time, at the same exact place. Yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and read. That's what I'm gonna do. Go get some to eat, maybe. All right, you guys have a great rest of your day. I've said for the 4th time, and peace.